Hey y'all, I'm in the garden this afternoon and today we are going to be seed starting carrots and radishes. So right here I've got a couple of old wooden planters. They are falling apart a bit. These are actually planters that Archer has been using for the last couple of years and he is not using them currently. So I figured I'd go ahead and sow some seeds in them and show you guys how to sow carrots. So let me show you the varieties that I've got. We've got some seeds from Botanical Interest, and these are the varieties that we're going to be sowing today. So this first is 65 days to maturity, frost tolerant, which means I can go ahead and plant these carrots before the last frost. So here in the low country of South Carolina, I'm typically planting carrots in the fall or very early spring. This second variety right here is 65 to 70 days to maturity, and again, frost tolerant. And our radishes are also going to be frost tolerant. So we're gonna sow all of this today in these two planters. This bed has already been amended with compost. It's not compacted at all. I can really get in there. It's not a whole lot of lumps or rocks or anything that would prevent the taproot of the radish or the carrot from just going straight down into the soil. So I'm going to start with this Tonda variety first. One thing that you want to be mindful of when you're sowing carrots and radishes is that these are going to be root crops. And so you want your soil to be light, airy, loose. You don't want any compaction because that's going to affect the roots' ability to get down into that soil. So if you are sowing your carrots in ground or in a container, either one, you just want to make sure your soil is not compact. With carrots, there are actually lots of different varieties, and you can pick a variety based on, I guess, the depth of your topsoil or the depth of the soil that you think is going to be prime for growing carrots. So one of these carrots is very short and squat, and then one is a little bit longer. If you're thinking that you're going to have trouble with your soil or that you don't have a, good 8 to 12 inches of good topsoil, maybe go with a shorter variety of carrot. And with that shorter variety, you'll probably cut back on some of your days to maturity as well. This Tonda variety says it is sweet and petite. It is a 19th century Parisian favorite, snack size, shallow roots grow well in heavy soils and containers. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what these guys look like. Here's what those carrot seeds look like. Carrot seeds are pretty small, and so I always surface sow my carrots. These say that they could take anywhere from 10 to 25 days to emerge. What I do with carrots is I don't worry about my spacing initially. I will sprinkle these across the top of the soil surface, and then we will come back and thin them out. So I just sort of, like I was seasoning something, I'm just gonna come in and sprinkle these right on top here, all over. And when I'm direct seeding, I always overseed just a little bit, put down a few more than you think you'll want to end up with in the end, because some might get displaced, some might sink a little bit too far down to germinate. So just overseed a little bit. Here is what the radish seed looks like, and I'm just going to take these and I'm going to sow them just inside this little trellis. We could come back and thin these out a bit. But there are the seeds there. And I'm going to just sort of make sure those are covered just a little. So I don't want them too far down. Just brushing a little soil over them. Okay, and that's it for the radishes. We're gonna go ahead and repeat the same thing with these red corded chantenay carrots. Chantenay, hopefully I pronounced that right. On the other side in our second planter. So we're gonna use these carrots and the same French breakfast radish. With anything that you are surface sowing, it's really important to make sure the surface of the soil does not dry out during the germination period. So the next thing I'm going to do is water the surface of this soil very lightly so that I'm not burying the carrot seeds. And we just need to maintain a pretty steady level of moisture until we see germination. Once you've watered your seeds in well, that's it. You're just going to check daily to make sure that the surface of the soil is staying moist, and you're just waiting for germination. We have some dirt being moved around today, so that's what all of the beeping and the noise is in the background. We're getting some topsoil leveled out and graded so that we can start putting down some grass and like pasture mix and stuff like that. Here are some fall sown carrots. So I'll come in and harvest these later in the spring, probably around March or April. But as you can see, the tops look good, no frost damage at all. And these were sown the exact same way that I just showed you guys. I'm not ready to harvest these yet, but let's see, if I dig down just a little ways, we can start to see some of the orange on the carrot. So I'm gonna leave these for now and let them grow, but so far so good. And I'll get a lot more top growth as the days get longer and these plants have more light. Just put some soil back over that. In this bed, I've got some December sown carrot. If you saw the artichokes in the last video, this is the same bed. And around these artichokes, I just scattered some carrot seed. So this is a second sowing of carrots right here. And then we've actually got some of our radishes on the back side of this bed. And again, same method with sowing. I guess I'll go ahead and pull this, show you guys. This is not the French breakfast variety. I think this might be Red Giant, but same method, just sort of scattered the seeds in, covered them lightly, and then make sure to keep the soil moist. Alrighty guys, that's it for this video. I hope that that was helpful and that you give carrots and radishes a go. Just remember, they like to be direct seeded in my experience. Keep the soil moist until you've got good germination. Carrots and radishes are great veggies to try and grow at home because oftentimes you're not going to find transplants or seedlings of these root veggies at your local box store, just because they don't transplant very well. I will update you guys when we harvest carrots. Maybe we'll do a carrot harvesting video. But until then, we'll see you soon. Bye.